In today's video, we're going to be talking about a very, very serious topic, which is 800,000 jobs. I think 818,000 plus jobs, unfortunately, just vanished. And what that really means is the numbers was off by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. So if you take a look at what some of the news outlets are putting out there, Fox Business, kind of far right, but also on Yahoo Finance, how to go ahead and prepare for a layoff after the U.S. jobs are revised lower. U.S. payroll likely 818,000 lower in preliminary revision. So it actually could be even worse than that. Does the job numbers revision change the market status quo? I've been watching tons of these videos recently. And what that basically just means for people that are in tech and working in product management. Overall, if we are taking a look at the number of people that's been laid off, most of the damage was actually done last year. It's actually dwindled off, and then again we saw a rise in like 2024 January, and it's kind of trickled down, and then there is a slight rise over here again in August. There's a few factors why that is the case, but overall, I want you guys to go ahead and know, for product managers, the job market is still very, very, very much strong. Because if you can go ahead and see our YouTube channel, we are still putting out a lot of people that are getting jobs out there. And if you're following me on LinkedIn, it's the same type of companies that are basically hiring over and over again, which is like digital payments, healthcare, health tech, definitely AI, definitely e-commerce, data privacy, cybersecurity. So if you're not going after the right sectors, if you're not going after the right jobs, unfortunately, you're going to be on the job hunt a lot longer than you would go ahead and like. So overall, how much does this impact you as a product manager? It's honestly really crazy to tell, because my people are still getting jobs because of the numbers that they're putting out there are so high, and they have a good resume. They also have the AI skills that's required in today's market, and they also have our interview training. But overall, if you're just watching this as a spectator, maybe you're not even looking for a job right now, part of my responsibility is to keep the product management community informed is this. When companies do layoffs, 40% of the layoffs that come as a result of like a batch are companies doing layoffs just because they see other companies doing layoffs. So I actually really don't like this type of negative news, because what it triggers other companies to do, and I've had a lot of people join my program that said, we thought we were okay, we were given KPI, we were given revenue targets, my team and I hit them, and we had no real reason to get laid off, and companies still do a layoff. A lot of times people are make the biggest misconception of like, companies are doing layoffs because there's no money out there in the market, nobody's making any money, so that's why they have no money to pay people, and they're laying off. Like, no. Every time there's one company that does a layoff, it's unfortunate, but 5 to 8 other companies start thinking about whether or not they should do a layoff too. That's in the same industry. Granted, half of them won't, because I said 40%, and that's based upon my the data that I have access to with the recruiting world. But to say that they're not seriously thinking about it, is like, oh shit, maybe we should too, is a lie. And a lot of those people, there's no real reason why that needs to happen. So what can you go ahead and do? At the end of the day, you're taking a look at this right now and you're wondering, what can you go ahead and do to either keep your job or to expedite your job hunt if you're no longer on the job or you're trying to transition over to product management right now? Schedule a call with us and take our AI curriculum and get those certificates. We built an entire AI curriculum based upon the skills that hiring managers told us that they need in 2024 going into 2025. Why is that? I've said it on my channel so many times before, I'll say it again. Companies double down on investing in AI, okay? So I'll show you this. Like Dell fires like 12,500 employees in bold restructuring. Why? To fuel AI ambitions. Okay. Tech companies lay off 5,500 workers to invest in more AI. And this was dropped August 16th. This article here was dropped August 16th. Right here, AI, okay. Take a look at all the companies that are just doing layoffs. Okay. Tech sector is pouring billions into AI. Okay. Why are companies putting so much money into AI? I'll tell you guys this because nobody else wants to say it. When the tech workforce decided, okay, and I'm just going to be very real with this. Hate me or love me, I'm here trying to help. I got into tech recruiting in 2014, and tech was on a growth spurt. And during that time from 2014, I would say up until the pandemic of 2020, tech workers were really, really, really overworked, but things were booming and things were happening and things were great. In 2020, people were definitely overworked because like you got nowhere to go, you got nothing else to do. So people were working way past 9 to 5. And that's when people got burnt out. Once the situation stabilized and people were working from home, and we proved that we can be effective working from home, that's when people started taking it a little bit easy because people also got better. You know, when you're forced to punch above your weight, you start getting better at punching above your weight. People got better at managing their workload. So naturally, people are like, I'm working less. Like, if I'm getting what it is that I need to get done, and it doesn't require me to have an 8-hour workday, why do I need to work 8 hours when clearly you're telling me these are the deadlines, these are the due dates, these are the metrics, these are the targets, these are the KPIs. But the way that companies take a look at it is like, nah, if I'm paying you, I'm getting all of you, right? And that I kind of have some empathy for because I'm a business owner too, but I was also an employee at one point. So companies realize something. If we're not going to have you guys come back into the office, and there's been repeated attempts to get people to come back to the office, but unfortunately, people really, really, really refused, and some people went as far, I don't know, some people legitimately said they were not as productive going back into the office. Some people actually said, like, I just don't want to go. Whatever the reason is, companies started putting in really together a game plan on how to just automate a lot of the workflows. So it's crazy right now that it's absolutely crazy right now that companies are actually like, I see it's so crazy. I've had so many people that got laid off from Capital One that came to the Product Gym program, but Capital One is also one of the companies a lot of my people are doing interviews at. We have hiring partnerships actually with Capital One. I'm like, why are you laying off people that are already there? Why didn't you guys just keep them? Because in the community, it's like, oh yeah, you're interviewing with Dan? Yeah, I used to work for Dan. This is actually how you do the interview with him. It's like this musical chairs thing. And I know as frustrating as it is for you, I'm just here to tell you guys the truth, because the same companies that are doing the layoffs are the same companies that are doing the hiring. Because I'm telling you, a lot of companies, they see other companies doing layoffs and they think they need to do layoffs too. But the problem is once they do the layoffs, they end up hiring for these roles that they laid off. But why won't they just pick up the phone and actually just call people to come back to work for them is beyond me, because maybe, I don't know, people left on bad terms or whatnot. But it's just wild, wild west right now. So the best thing that I can go out there and do to tell you guys how to prepare for the recession, and you know, in terms of the recession, I kind of want to touch upon it a little bit too. Goldman Sachs has lowered, I don't know how like, has lowered the odds, okay, of a recession down to 20%. Now it's 1 out of 5 chances, so that's a little bit better than just a coin toss. You're probably looking at it like 20%. Reg, still pretty freaking high, man. I know. There's still a chance, but it's better than 50-50. So it went down a little bit, but they keep on readjusting the range depending on what's happening, and of course what's going to happen with the Fed rate. We'll know about that like in 24 hours. But we'll just have to go out there and see, right? But with that said, what I'm telling people to do is start building a personal brand. And this is actually what I told people over and over again. The amount of work that it takes to get a product manager job has definitely increased. And all of the people that have landed product manager jobs in the Product Gym program recently, they've all said one thing, which is like, I'm really glad that beyond the AI curriculum and the AI skills I was able to go out there and gather, which definitely makes you a more lethal person on the job. If mentally you're completely out of tune and off your rocker, even if you have the skills, it's really hard for you to be interviewing effectively, right? So what I advise people to do is call us, get in contact with us. Let's make this the last job hunt ever, because the pattern is I've been in this game for 10 years. I started off as a tech recruiter back in 2014. It's 2024. Product managers and people in tech, they always keep on working until they get laid off. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is the worst layoff I ever had. But there was a very long period of time when nobody got laid off. So of course there's going to be a very long period of time when people do get laid off. It's just when it happens to you, it really, really sucks. So what I want to encourage you to do is, if you're struggling on the job hunt right now, schedule a call with us. Let us work out a payment plan with you, because I want to get you this job and I want to help you start the next chapter of your life, which is really building your brand so you have other sources of income. When you have a brand like these people, a few years ago, people were all making fun of these people, like a day in the life of a product manager. This is a day in the life of a product manager in tech. What I did today as a product manager, right, is like facts about a product manager. You want to know something about these people that are product managers that have a brand? They get coaching opportunities. Yes, career coaching opportunities. I can't coach all these people myself. Consulting opportunities, freelance opportunities, fractional product management opportunities, heads of product opportunities, job opportunities, right? Because they have this brand and they're just putting out random videos out there where they have like 416,000 views, right? They monetize off of this. So even when they get laid off, you know what product managers do when they figure out, or people in tech, when they figure out they're about to get laid off, you know what they do? They grab their tripods, they get their shit set up, and they're like, oh yeah. Because the amount of views they're about to go ahead and generate off of the video of them live streaming themselves getting laid off is enough for them to print cash. And as much as a lot of people are struggling to even get interviews right now, you want to know what these people are not making videos of? How difficult is it for them to get interviews? They're not job hunting after they got their layoff. And they're talking about, like, I'm doing a UX research class. We're going to Paris to watch the Olympics. You want to know why? They're making so much more money as a brand in product management than they did when they were working in product management. So the question that is left behind is this: is it still worth it to get a product manager job? If you're making six figures, you know other people that are making six figures. People that work in tech know and date other people that work in tech, that work in finance, and they work in consulting. Generally speaking, the young professionals network, right? And they know other people that are working in other jobs. Is there, honestly speaking, like an easier job that people have compared to another person that's making six figures in the young professional, in the professionals world? Not really. So buckle down, leverage what it is that you have, because any type of transition that you'd want to go ahead and do, I think is, honestly speaking, a waste of time. You should just commit to product management, because product management to me has the most versatility, because you get to go out there and put your hands in a little bit of everything. And it's so versatile in the number of options that opens up to you. So my name is Rich with Product Gym. Schedule a call with us, work out a payment plan. Let's get you off of this, because mentally speaking, this is just so hard for you to do it on your own. I call this company Product Gym because because I wanted to model my business after CrossFit. Everything that you need to know to get the body that you want already exists out in the internet for free. And people still aren't doing it. Why? Because it's too hard. You can't fight biology. Literally, go on Amazon right now and take a look at the willpower myth. Willpower is a lie. It is a lie. Forcing yourself to blunt force trauma this is only putting you in a worse mood. It's putting you in a worse state. So when you're getting the interviews, you're not even the normal, confident, chippery self. You're interviewing in there with so much imposter syndrome, whether you've done the job or not. So you need that positive reinforcement, seeing a lot of other people do a lot of other interviews, getting success, getting a lot of offers. We have printed out more than 28 offers just this past week. Come to the program. Let's get you off of this job hunt. Let's make this the last freaking time you ever have to work this hard to get a job ever again. I want the jobs to be coming to you. Whether you hate me or you love me, being financially insecure is not a good position to be in, especially if you have kids. Like, I know I have friends who have significant others. They've been laid off a lot longer than they anticipated or they wanted to be. Originally, they took a vacation to go somewhere. And the number of people that I saw go through breakups, the number of people that I saw get divorces, like the friction that that's creating and just the social dynamic of what people have. I have some friends, they no longer come out anymore. Partially because they can't afford to, but they're never in a good mood. Their mental health has completely been battered. Let's get you this job. We've helped other people get this job. We can help you get this job. If money's tight, let's work out a payment plan. Either way, schedule a call. Let us help you, okay? I'll talk to you later. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back with more videos very, very soon.